Hello, and welcome to the Comic-Spiracy episode 202 for the week of March 23rd, 2015. My name is Ryan Higgins, who is here with me this week.
Brock Singer.
Jim Jokisch.
Jim, you're back.
Thanks.
And we just put you in the regular rotation. We're not even calling you a special guest anymore. You're not special. You're just one of us now.
Oh, furniture. Great.
Yeah.
I'm back to furniture again. Great.
Who else is here?
Hello, not special, Jim.
The hooded
Hi, Toby.
man.
I'm Toby.
He's wearing a hoodie inside.
It's an Orphan Black
Yes,
hoodie.
he is.
Who else is here?
And Charlie.
Charlie, days before going to Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we
Days,
gonna-
it's like day before.
Yeah.
Flying tomorrow. Wait, are you really flying tomorrow? The con
Yeah.
is not till Friday, you know, though, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to go hang out with Jordan in Portland.
Very nice.
Yeah, you got to hang out with Jordan.
Yeah, he needs time for shopping.
Are we going to have a post Emerald City Comic Con talk next week? Are you going to be here on Tuesday?
Are you going to be
I will
sleep
not be here
deprived?
on time.
Are you going to be sleep
Get in
deprived?
Tuesday, but Tuesday night. So.
Oh, you should fly just a little bit sooner. Get here.
Week
It's
after.
only Washington, right?
Week
Well,
after.
I'll be flying back from Portland because I'm going from Seattle back to Portland. back
Oh,
to
you're
here.
flying into Portland then. Nice. Cool.
All right.
But there's no stops in between.
There's literally
Trees.
nothing between
There's
that.
letting up
Yeah.
There's trees. There's trees.
You go up, you go down. That's it. That's
there's
it.
That's okay.
There's a military base.
I always eat really well when I'm in Seattle for the con, and I always eat really well when I'm in Portland. So
You do?
Okay, all right, good.
All right. We have a lot to talk about this week. The major point of this episode is going to be discussing all the miniseries and events
That's
around
not the major point.
Secret Wars,
No.
Marvel's major event for 2015.
The major point we need to get out of the way.
Much like the way we talked about like New 52, and we'll be talking about the new DC books and everything like that. So we're going to kind of go through the list here. Bryce, although he could not be here, I guess we should say Bryce is not here because him and his wife did have their second kid
That's the
on
major
Monday.
announcement.
So babies are generally
Congrats
small.
to Bryce.
So
Yay.
that's not it's not a big announcement. Babies are little. So.
And they smell, right?
Some of them do, yeah. So, congrats, Bryce. So, Bryce is not going to be on the podcast for a little while, and it's because he's got another kid.
But
So,
with the power of technology, he will be here in spirit.
yes. He gave us some comments here to read when we go through.
Can you do it in the Bryce voice?
I could try.
Is it like 30 pages long?
It was a
You have to start out
long...
with, oh my God.
It was a long Facebook message, yes. Well, let's start. IGN actually has a great page that they're updating when all the new series are being announced. There could be more past this. I should say, one of the reasons we're also talking about this is we are doing, through the store, a monthly pre-order of every crossover miniseries and special event that they're doing, starting in May, going through whenever the event ends. It's you get one of every issue that comes bundled. We've ever had a handful of people pre-order the month one that's going to ship, theory, the end of May, because if stuff gets pushed back or whatever, we're not going to ship till everything's out. For people that pre-ordered the movie cover variants, Justice League, Superman, and Batman got pushed back to the end of April, a whole month delay.
Wait, I'm not going to get my Magic Mike cover till April?
Right.
Oh,
Wonder Woman is next week,
Wait,
and
Magic
Harley.
Mike?
And
yeah,
Harley
Justice
Quinn
League cover.
Wow.
And Harley Quinn is like mid next month. So for the people that pre-ordered those, I sent out an email today. You're gonna have to wait a little while till all that's in.
So are the comics fully delayed or just those
No
covers?
comics.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I figured.
Which it's crazy because these books were supposed to be over before conversion started, and conversion starts next week. And five of their five biggest titles have not shipped yet, which is nuts. So
guess what? You're going to have 5 more big titles to sell in.
that's my assumption is that they're like, if no one comes in April, that may be bad. Let's delay our big titles to April, so people have to come in to buy those. And then if they just see a bunch of Convergence titles, maybe they'll buy them. We'll see. We actually our numbers on Convergence are pretty good, so they're not that. On the miniseries, we had a lot of people order them, so I'm hoping it does well. But let's start with. It's kind of from the most recently announced all the way back. We'll go through these real quick. Hail Hydra by Rick Remender and Roland Bashi is part of the War Zones branding, meaning it's them fighting during Secret Wars.
So these are all part of the Battle World.
No. There's 3. There's Battle World, War Zones, and Last Days. Battle World is like the alternate reality stuff. War Zone is, I believe... like the regular characters during Battle World, and Last Days is pre-Secret Wars. So Last Days is what the characters are doing as the world's exploding.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to be a lot. So this is, Winter Soldier, Bitter March collaborator Roland Boschi and recommender. So Hydra has ruled America for centuries, and Nomad is a fish-out-of-water protagonist navigating this tricky realm. So, seems interesting. I'm gonna read Bryce's funny comments here for these two, and you guys jump in too, because otherwise this is going to be me talking for like 45 minutes. But I'll do my best Bryce impression right now. You ready for it? Okay, it's no impression at all. He says, the Bitter March guys reteam for basically the same style and tone story, just focusing on Zola's kid this time. 11 Mender and all, but this looks like it'll result in the same meh reaction this time around. The Bryce anticipation result, or the BAR, the bar, is a 6 out of 10. So,
The BAR.
bar, yeah. Bryce's bar. All right, here comes one of the big ones. Civil War by Charles Soule and Lineal Yu, which is part of the War Zones, meaning the actual reformed worlds of Secret
So
Wars.
at what stage of the Civil War does it kicking in? I guess we have to wait to find out.
That's the thing about a lot of these is it doesn't necessarily mean that Civil War played out like it did in the Civil War event.
True. Very true.
But part of this comment here from Charles Soule says, without spoiling, this deals with a world that has been ravaged for quite some time when we pick up the story, meaning Civil War
Never ended,
basically.
Cap never gave up, never got shot,
Yeah.
and it never ended.
That seems likely.
Or maybe Cap getting shot sparked it again.
Even more,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even more, yeah. Civil War is going to be a huge book, no matter how you look at it. These are the Charles Soule did Wolverine, Death of Wolverine, which was not the Wolverine before, and Wolverines has been a horrible disaster for us. I just moved to subscribers only. I get 2 copies. Bryce is one of them.
You have one on it. You have one Wolverine on it. One
Bryce
Wolverine's-
doesn't count. He gets anything X related.
One Wolverine's on the shelf right now, right?
He's
Yeah.
actually cut down some of his X books.
Well, that one copy of Wolverines I have on the shelf, as of whatever the next adjustable order, I'm cutting to 0 because I did not sell a copy off the shelf last week.
Wow.
I didn't sell 1 copy. So, 2 copies, Wolverines. But it's the same guy. But Death of Wolverine was huge, so Civil War is going to be big.
Well, the Wolverine's book sort of is suffering from we're trying to keep things going even though Wolverine is dead.
Yeah.
Wolverine's
versus-
dead, but Wolverine's going to be back in Battle World, so...
The Death of Wolverine
Like 9
book,
of them,
the-
9 books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the first couple of issues were great because it was very much about Wolverine and his history and everything like that. The last issue kind of puttered out, and then, some of the threads they chose to pick up to keep going after that were like, really? You're going to, just
Right.
doesn't work.
They'd have been better off just cacking them and just letting them
Yeah.
letting them stay.
Bryce's comment on this is Civil War hype. I'm so stoked for this. One of the best. This was truly the original idea, my Marvel. And I like that such a good team will get a shot at expanding the idea of the universe. His bar score is 9.5 out of 10.
We
So-
should just have him record his stuff and edit it.
Edited in. He's a little busy, but he took some time to do this song. He didn't do all of them. He only did a few of them, but I'll go through them. Age of Apocalypse, Fabian Nicieza, and Geraldo Sandoval.
Yeah,
That's
of course,
part of the
Bryce
War
went
Zones.
wet on this one.
Yeah, it's Age of Apocalypse.
But who did it?
Okay, I'll give you.
If you don't know what Age of Apocalypse is, it's a world in which Professor X was killed and was never able to form the X-Men to stop Apocalypse. And
Or
Apocalypse.
you can just rewind to any episode Bryce has ever been on. I'm prepared to say we've probably brought it up every single
episode.
episode that Bryce has been on.
Yeah. Well, his reply was,
10 out of 10.
what do I need to say about this? I have it a million times. This would easily be the best of the bunch. So stoked. It's a departure from the last crap series they did, and that's getting back to the classic stories from the original AOA universe. Bar score 11 out of 10.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. I'm sorry, I undershot on that one.
Yeah. Another big one, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. A married Peter Parker with kid. This is Dan Slott.
Mayday.
Adam
May?
Kubert.
Was it Mayday May?
I don't know. Did they ever name the daughter that died?
Yes.
No, not in Brand New Day.
The one that died? There's one that died?
The
No,
baby that got kidnapped and wasn't seen was named May.
Right, May.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know there was one that got kidnapped and died.
But there's some weird crap about it not
He
being
had a
his-
kid.
I don't think the kid actually died, but they did this whole thing about it was back during the.
around
I think it was
400
technically
and
Well,
during like it was right after Norman came back, and there was like some stuff shortly after it where Peter was convinced Norman kidnapped the kid, which he did.
yeah.
But that's how they brought back Aunt May at the time. Was he thought he was on his way to go save baby May and ended up saving Aunt May and
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I bring it up, I was actually a fan of the Spider-Girl book, which is made in May, so I was wondering if that's just
It's
kid version of
similar.
her.
I mean, close enough.
I always assumed that book kind of came out of the quote unquote missing baby
Right.
as a
Right.
what would have happened if they got her back and
Right.
things had continued.
And Dan Slott says elements of this story will continue when Amazing Spider-Man comes back. So
Okay.
some big stuff there. Of course, Bryce has some funny comment on this one. He says, this is a great idea, but I won't be reading. They should have had the Spidey universe go in this direction from the beginning, to be honest, but I'm happy to see it get its time in the sun. 8 out of 10 for something he's uninterested in.
Wow.
See, I'm just excited the fact that
I like that
Slott is
I'm losing faith in the
writing it.
Bryce scale.
Well, no, I like the fact that Bryce is so excited that even on like these books, he's like 8 out of 10. Like,
Yeah. 1602, Witch Hunter Angela, a little mashup there of two Neil Gaiman properties, written by Kieran Gillen, Marguerite Bennett, and Stephanie Hands. That's part of the War Zones, going back to the 1602 universe.
1602 was good.
But Angela
Oh, yeah.
wasn't in there.
Nope,
Yeah,
but now she is.
Now she is.
So, not too much to say about that. That if you haven't
Be
read
Angela hunting Agatha Harkness.
if you haven't read 1602, same deal. It's the kind of formation of America superheroes, like time, like they all got stuck back in the past and kind
Superheroes back in the colonies, basically.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that they all got stuck in the past.
Well, Cap did,
Yes,
right?
Cap got stuck in the past, and it sort of sparked a
Rippled effect
Yeah.
through everyone, kind of the Marvel universe forming at that point.
1602 was
interesting. It was
was
really
a
good.
very good book. My expectation for this book is very low.
Yeah.
Well, they had that 1602 New World stuff afterwards, which was just garbage.
Oh, those are some of the worst books ever. According to Bryce, what a Higgins troll series! It's a series. It's a series of Gaiman lore for Gaiman lovers. I'm sure this is a great universe for people to wade into, but no, thank you. Bar score of 4 out of 10.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I don't know if I can get behind his scale.
yeah. X-Men '92, written by Chris Sims.
11 out of 10.
Written and drawn by
no, this is going to be 15 out of 10.
Chris Sims, Chad Bowers, and Scott Koblish. And while we won't discuss them on the podcast, there is a little bit of controversy about this book. Go look up Chris Sims. He had made some news over the weekend. That's coming out. That's part of the War Zones. This is basically the 90s X-Men. This is the animated X-Men. Right?
I'm
Awesome.
excited
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
very
yeah.
interested.
Okay, I'll give you the 15 out of 10 on that one.
Yeah, very, very interested to see what they do with this. Of course.
What's the Bryce score?
He
What's
says
the
by a
bar?
bunch. He says by a bunch of guys I don't know. Are you joking? 12 out of 10. In seriousness, our continuing animated series that was definitive for my young life. I predict this being Ryan's bestseller.
I still love the X-Men animated series. That was one of the best
yeah.
cartoons. I mean, they tried to put everything that was happening in the books at that time into the cartoons. Age of Apocalypse. I mean, Cable Bishop
Oh, yes.
crossovers.
I think the 4. If I had to guess, it's Old Man Logan, Age of Apocalypse, X-Men '92, Spider-Man. So I guess 5, and Civil War. Those are going to be the big 5 series out of this.
I think X-Men's going to beat all of them.
I thought Maestro. I thought Future Imperfect.
It's
Perfect.
It's going to be big, but it's not going to be as big as the rest.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Let's go on.
Just because you like Future Imperfect and you want to be the
I'm
man.
excited about that one too.
Yeah.
You just want to see that room in more detail.
Absolutely.
You want to
Yes.
see more angles and more pictures of that trophy room?
We'll get to it. So we got a lot to go through here. Armor Wars, Iron Man Armor Wars.
Yes!
By James Robinson and Marcio Takara.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, that's War Zones, kind of
You just bought that trade.
Yeah.
That's why you're jumping on it.
somehow the Armor World takes place. I'm sorry, Armor Wars takes place in a battle world domain known as Technopolis. Technopolis. Yeah.
Isn't that the name of the city that Tony and his brother?
No.
Yeah, Arno or
What was
something. A place where disease has forced everyone to wear a suit of Iron Man armor. Tony Stark and his brother Arno are rival manufacturers in this domain. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see.
In Universe X, they created an entire Avengers army out of armor.
Is Universe X part of this?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That should be one of them.
Arno is Iron
awesome.
Man's the Iron Man 2020.
Alex Ross should paint it all.
Not his brother, or now his brother. That last Iron Man
never
series
did the
was
original.
awful. I couldn't read it. So.
Covers.
Only covers.
He only did the covers.
Yes.
Keep going, Ryan. We're right with
According to Bryce, man, there's a lot of Iron Man fanboys out there, and if I was one, I'd be all up on this, but I'm not. 5 out of 10.
How does that get more than...
He's
No, they got less than Spider-Man.
No.
No, they got more than
But
Spider-Man.
it wasn't gaming stuff.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Yeah.
still 2 games.
No, Spider-Man
because-
got 8 out of 10.
It's because Tony is not a
that's what
mutant.
it is.
That's why.
That's why.
He's a non-mutant hater.
Years of Future Past by Marguerite Bennett and Mike Norton. That's another Warzone.
Art Adams, I saw do one of the covers.
He's doing the cover for it.
Initial cover.
Yep.
That one looks awesome. That one really looks good.
It's Days of Future Past, but in a very different take on it. So they're not just going to go back and redo it, but very similar kind of.
I would love to see more flash forwards of the future.
This time, Wolverine dies. Spoiler.
Wolverine died in the last one.
Oh.
All right, Bryce actually has something really serious to say
Wolverine
about
can
this.
re-die over and
That's
over
right,
and
he
over.
can.
Well, Deadpool dies next month, so he says.
Yes.
Bryce
Oh, sorry.
actually has something really serious to say about this. He says, "Look, I love the X-Men, but fucking hell if they aren't Deadpooling all their best stories. Look, I get it, the X-Men deal in time travel, and it's awesome to consider what ifs and new storylines. But we've recently had the movies and the Battle of the Atom, and the HeroClix at lol. Can you cover something more in need of a refresh, like Extinction Agenda? His bar score. Who am I kidding? 9 out of 10." So, it's the X-Men. Bryce is excited.
So that was apparently not serious.
Yes. Squadron Sinister, Mark Guggenheim and Carlos Pacheco. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the Squadron Supreme, kind of their version of it. Jim, I know as a 70s fan, I know you're a Squadron Supreme fan. Or Squadron Sinister.
Squadron Sinister, actually 70, Avengers 70 and Avengers 71.
As they were,
they're still fighting the Squadron Sinister, first appearance of the Invaders.
69 and 70, but we'll give it to you.
No. 70-71, man.
Okay.
69-70 was the Squadron
That's
Sinister.
Squadron Sinister. All right.
71 was the first
Invaders.
appearance of the Invaders.
Yeah, I know. So, Squadron Supreme, or the Squadron Sinister as they're known, are the Justice League.
Even the 80s book, the four,
that's amazing.
The 12-part book of Squadron Supreme was awesome.
Yeah.
It's Straczynski.
Yeah.
He did the
the new
Oh,
stuff.
the 80s. Not in the 80s. Not in the 80s. Straczynski did
Is it the
Supreme
90s?
Power.
Yeah, I really like that one.
In the what was it, 90s or 2000s?
It's got to be in the
was early
2000s.
2000s.
I mean, it was
kinda
2000.
like in the same area as like The Boys.
Yeah, I really like
Really
Supreme
twisted.
Power.
It's really
Yeah, it
good.
was technically a Max series.
It was.
It was absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that book was great.
Supreme
Well,
Power
started
was-
off great.
was great. It kind of just went off.
Yeah, it just
disappeared.
Well,
disappeared.
then
Well,
they did the crossover with the Ultimate Universe.
it's back.
yeah,
But it's
that's
back
when
now.
they
Yeah.
kind of lost
back in
their track.
Battle World.
Well, I love Carlos Pacheco's art. I'm really looking forward to this
Yeah.
one. According to Bryce, this could be a sleeper hit. It's like Nick Spencer's Sinister Foes. Not really. Meets a Magneto book. Maybe. These villains beat the good guys, and what happens next could be good. 8 out of 10. Oops, and I totally just went way too high. Next is the Miss Marvel, or sorry, what were they actually
Miss
calling this
Marvel?
thing?
Which Miss Marvel?
Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps. Kelly Sue DeConnick, Kelly Thompson, and David Lopez. This is War Zones. It's some alternate universe with like what are the like not enemy ace? What's the Blackhawks? It's like DC's
okay, yeah.
Blackhawks with Captain Marvel and all female fighter pilots.
Oh, okay.
So
And decided to name an entire corps after her.
yes,
Wow.
According to Bryce, Kelly Sue, who gives a fuck? Fucking pass. 1 out of 10. That sounds about right.
I'm beginning to like this bar. I really.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Captain Marvel, of course, being now tied for our second to worst selling book, as Elektra and now Wolverines are our worst selling Marvel ongoing titles, with Captain Marvel being tied.
Captain
with
Marvel. Actually, when Miss Marvel.
Captain Marvel, Ghost Rider, and I think there's one more that's tied for second place for worst selling Marvel ongoing series.
Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel was doing so well until they changed their costume, and 2, they changed the book. I mean, it's not Ms. Marvel anymore. So
it's I love Miss Marvel. She's a great character. I'm really excited for the movie. I hope they do great stuff with her. I love the Miss Marvel series in the 2000s. She's a great character. The new stuff is
It's not selling. It's
dreadful.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the fandom behind it. It's really bad. It's legitimately some of the worst books I've read in recent years. I pick up every new #1 because they keep relaunching it. I've checked it out a few times. Not Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's fine. The Captain Marvel book, so bad.
Yep. I agree with you.
Giant size Little Marvel AVX. This is Toby's favorite. Scotty Young, written and drawn.
But was it AVX?
Yeah, it's the X babies versus the A babies.
The interior is by Scotty Young too.
Written and drawn.
Didn't they
Whole
already
series.
do the
But now it's a whole.
babies?
But now it's
No,
a
they
whole
did X
universe around it. Yeah, they did like the one shots before.
Yeah, and the one shot was great.
Now it's
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
DC babies.
I'm
world.
pre-ordering 10 copies.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Well, and he's going to make it like the book for the Patreon that
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why
Yeah.
he's ordering the 10 copies.
Oh yeah. Bryce says looks
be the
great,
best
like
book
everything he does. Nothing deep, just silly fun. 8 out of 10.
What? What do you mean nothing deep?
8 out of 5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10.
Shallow.
Mrs. Deadpool and the Howling Commandos. Jim, you actually would like this. It's the
Yeah.
Creature Commandos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a female.
Wait. No, Legion of
Monsters.
Monsters because Creature Commandos was DC.
I know, you know what I mean.
I know
Legion
what
of
you mean.
Monsters.
I
Legion
know
of
where we're
Monsters.
going with this.
So it's a
I'm getting a big flashpoint.
It's a female
Flashback
Deadpool
reading this list.
mixed with all the Mummy and Dracula.
All right, so you got the Living Mummy, you got Morbius, we got Frankenstein's monster, Werewolf by Night. Who am I missing?
Yeah, that's most of them.
Yeah, that's most of them,
That's pretty cool stuff. Let's see. I don't even know.
except for Deadpool being part of it. But okay,
No, female Deadpool.
According to Bryce,
okay.
according to Bryce, obligatory Deadpool content. 2008 Bryce would have given a 10 out of 10. 2015 Bryce, 6 out of 10.
wow.
Yeah. That one looks pretty funny. I'm up for that.
Okay, I can honestly say I haven't read anything with the Lady Deadpool, but with the Monster Squad in there, I'm all over it. So
Yeah.
Other than the like Deadpool versus Deadpool series, I think I'm at the same point.
Man, we're gonna have to haul some ass here. This is gonna take the entire episode.
Keep going.
Guardians of Nowhere, Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Diodato. Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's keep
Thinking
going.
ahead.
Wait, the current Guardians or the Guardians 3000? So,
Current.
Okay.
Yeah.
damn,
So it's not even the good Guardians.
I'm gonna have to.
it's not your Valentino Guardians, the ones I like
No,
too.
Valentino's okay. It's the Abbott and Lanning Guardians.
Yeah.
Those are the good Guardians.
Okay, let's go.
There's some funny comments here, but I don't have time to read these all. E for Extinction. This is the Grant Morrison X-Men kids getting their own title by Chris Burnham and Ramon Villalobos, who's doing an amazing Frank Whiteley impression here. So I'm very curious about this. This is with like fucking husk or the beak and the
not
the
skin.
angel and everything.
Skin and
Wait,
yeah.
is it Fat
the
Angel? or Skinny
cuckoos. Yeah, Zorn.
wow.
So, guys, 4 pages of this? Good Lord. All right, let's move on to the next one here.
Wait, Bryce's comment was 4 pages?
No.
Oh.
I liked Husk. Husk was kind of cool.
I don't know. When you start reading off these kind of lists, I always just kind of feel sad because I like the ways those were written at the time so much that when you put a new writer on them, I'm just like, but it's not.
Give it a chance. You don't know. Give it a chance.
There's actually not that many because they doubled up their page here, so there's actually only 3 pages. Infinity Gauntlet by Justin Weaver and Jerry Dugan. This is going to be a big
there we
one.
go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So it's unfortunately mostly about the Nova Coring kids. But it's Thanos. It's the Gauntlet. Star-Lord's going to be in it, so that should be pretty cool. It's
Yes.
Eternity's going to be there.
Mr. Sequel
Living
to-
Tribunal.
Yeah, it's Infinity Gauntlet.
All yes.
Again. Old Man Logan, the Mark Miller
It's a
run.
fantastic storyline.
This
Yes.
is by Brian Michael Bendis and Andrea Sorrentino, who I love from Green Arrow. I was very curious about this arc.
I haven't been a big fan of his on all new X-Men stuff. I mean, some of
It's
okay.
different.
It's hard.
It's not inked.
because there's too many different colors. Where like Green Arrow kind of had kind of base colors going
I
through.
don't think he's inked. It doesn't look right. There's like weird stuff. There's weird stuff with his art in there.
I'm wondering where they're going to pick up an Old Man Logan. I wonder if it's going to extend. I wonder if it's going
Just
to pick up in the
continue
middle.
it. Yeah.
But
I
Old
mean,
Man
I did
Logan-
not like Old Man Logan.
You did not?
No.
I thought Old Man Logan was fantastic.
I liked it till they revealed something at the end, and it sort of destroyed the entire book for me.
Yeah, it did not do anything for me.
I
I didn't even
I
finish
thought
reading
I
it.
thought during the reveal, I thought that was just a pinnacle point. I mean, that
don't
made
like
sense
it.
to me. That really did.
It did make sense, but that's what I don't like about it. I'm like, oh.
Ryan, I think part of your issue with Old Man Logan was the fact that
Mark Miller wrote it.
Well, besides that, was that the book didn't finish in the regular series. They did that giant size Old Man Logan to finish it off, and that was delayed.
I mean, I was out before that even. I
Yeah.
only read the first few. It just. I think when I got to like inbred raping Hulks, I was just like,
That was the end.
whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about, right?
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I got pretty far
That
then.
put you off?
Yeah, I was
Everything
like,
else is okay, but that
just-
put you off.
It's just typical Mark Miller nonsense.
It's only the last thing in the book, but all right, you finished off pretty early then.
No, Old Man Logan had the same essence that freaking Ruins did, that Hulk Future Imperfect did. I mean, it was a worn-torn, it was a battle, a battled Earth left over, and the villains were in charge, and it was twisted. I liked it. It was dark. It was fantastic. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it a lot.
The thing I liked about it, and part of it is, again, villains in charge and all that, but I really tend to like stories where they kind of manage to almost throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and then figure out how to tie it all together, because they kind of like worked in the spider buggy and worked in like all sorts of random stuff that made the book for me.
It was a bunch of random stuff it feel like it was pulled from other books.
Yeah.
But the way they put the America together, it looked good.
I think Marvel really likes doing that, because Old Man Logan was like, it was like, this is the Banner era, this is like the somebody else's area, this is somebody else's area. It's like looking at that Secret Wars map, right? That Risk map. It's
It's
like boom, boom, boom. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I liked Old Man Logan.
One of these days, they're actually going to have a comic event and come out with a Risk as the comic event's coming out, and that will be awesome.
That's probably what they're trying to do with this one.
All right. What's the next one, Ryan?
Let's see. We also got a couple here. We have Captain Britain and the Mighty Defenders, which is Al Ewing and Alan Davis. Don't know. It's She-Hulk. It's Rescue, which is the Pepper Potts Iron Man. It's the white Black Panther chick.
Yeah.
So it feels just like...
Are they bringing Ghost back at all? The Black Panther with the trench coat?
I don't know about that.
Oh.
Let's see. You have to apologize. I'm sorry. I have to apologize real here. This site is not loading the way it was earlier. Like, things are wigging out.
You're talking about White Tiger, right?
Is that her
That's
name?
her name?
Yeah, that sounds
I think
right.
that's her name.
Yeah.
His name. White Tiger was a he.
Well, this is like the female.
It's a new version. Okay.
Yeah, the female one.
The one that they put on Ultimate Spider-Man show and all that stuff.
Well, she was
All
in Brubaker's Daredevil stuff.
No, that's true.
We had Old Man Logan next, the one no one cares about, Ultimate End. Thank God. Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. Kill them all.
Nice.
Well, I think it's kind of ironic that the two that kind of started it are ending it. So
It's fine.
No, I think that was
What did Bryce give Old Man Logan?
I don't remember. Yeah, Bryce, he went through some of these here, but there's too much to go through. Inhumans, Atlan Rising, Charles Sewell and John Timms. Marvel is going to keep trying to make us read the Inhumans, and that movie.
They're prepping us for the Uncanny.
I hope the movie does well, but Inhumans is always a tough sell. We'll see.
You know what?
I
Nobody
always
thought
wonder-
Guardians was going to do well.
Oh
so,
no! I
you
know.
I always wonder if this is so much about trying to make us read the Inhumans, or more about we need to have more Inhumans trades
sure.
and books and
Absolutely.
all that
Yeah,
they can sell when that movie comes out.
Totally. Master Kung Fu, Hayden Blackman and
Shang-Chi.
Dalibor Talajic. I do not know the artist, but the art looks pretty awesome. Yeah, Shang-Chi, the world with...
Haven't heard anything about him for a long time, since Iron Fist. Or
Shang-Chi, Iron Fist, Typhoid Mary, Elektra, and even Kitty Pryde, apparently.
Called it.
But all mythical kind of Kung Fu versions of them.
What was he in not too long ago? Was it
Shang-Chi?
Iron Fist?
Maybe. I kind of gave up on that
Was
book.
the Immortal Iron Fist, that book?
Well, the new series.
Maybe. I don't know. I remember something I read with him not too long ago where I'm like, hey, it's been forever.
Secret
He's
War.
still wearing the same pants.
Secret Wars 2099 by Peter David and Will Slaney. We're getting another 2099 book, which, from what I understand, actually is completely replacing the Spider-Man 2099 book and maybe even replacing it afterwards. Don't know.
Yeah, from what I understand, they were going to be replacing it afterwards with it.
Yeah.
But will Ravage 2099 be in there?
Jeez, we can only hope. Deadpool's Secret Wars. Colin Budd and Matteo Loli.
God.
It's Deadpool. If
And
you don't
it's fun.
If you don't know what to expect out of Deadpool, But I don't know.
Bunn did most of those like Deadpool miniseries.
Yeah, he's
right?
done all the minis. Yeah.
I really like those, so I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
Deadpool, Dogpool, Kidpool,
Yeah.
Ladypool,
Yeah.
Headpool.
That's why they had the Deadpool kills Deadpool.
Did they have a
series.
pool that was just like a pool with like a Deadpool mask on or something?
I think they.
Did
Yes.
they? Okay.
And they had Baby Pool, and
Yeah.
they had.
Sink
Oh.
pool.
I take it back. Actually, here's another one of the ones that's going to be big. It's got a stupid name, but it's going to be a huge book. That's A-Force by G. Willow Wilson, Marguerite Bennett, and Jorge Molina. It's all female Avengers world and list and team and everything.
Okay,
So,
well, I'm anticipating that. I'm anticipating the art. I'm not so sure about the storyline. I'll wait to see.
Toby's stoked because his Runaways chick is coming back.
Hell yeah.
So,
Nico Minoru.
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, she's neat. We're
It's on the cover.
Where Monsters Dwell by Garth Ennis and Ras Brown. World War II fighter pilots versus dinosaurs. I hope it's awesome. It's Garth Ennis. It'll be the worst selling series, maybe. But it looks like fun. So
Yeah.
Devil Dinosaur be in there?
probably. It's Garth
It better
Ennis.
be.
Yeah, it's Garth Ennis. So hopefully it's awesome. I
I've
don't.
heard no mention of the Punisher in any of these.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen him in any of this
He's going to
stuff.
kill the Secret Wars universe.
And I should say some of these
Punisher
books.
kills the Secret Wars universe.
Some of these books, like Loki, Magneto, are continuing. Squirrel Girl, Spider-Gwen, Silk, I think Rocket.
Wait a minute, Squirrel Girl's continuing?
Well, so these books are all continuing through. They're gonna acknowledge it in some fashion, but not everything is ending. I think they said 33. I think it's 33 books are
Squirrel
ending.
Girl said, I'm out.
They're getting replaced.
Silk is ending?
No. All the ones that just launched, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, none of those are ending.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen?
No, Spider-Gwen is not ending, but they will all acknowledge it in some fashion.
Okay.
Wonder how they're going to acknowledge it. They're just going to have it like, hey, look, my world just exploded.
Yeah.
Next issue.
Well, Squirrel
It'll be
Girl
on
will
the
just
app.
Squirrel Girl will just like walk by as things are happening and just not even.
Well, I'm
acknowledge
just
it.
thinking, based on the whole idea of this and based on the Spider-Verse event and the Spider-Gwen universe, I don't know how they could acknowledge it in the Spider-Gwen universe without it being my universe just exploded.
Yeah.
So
I don't
many.
know.
I'm looking at the wall right now. There's so many random Marvel books right now. I'm just wondering how many are going to get kicked.
33. But it's all the major titles that are ending. I mean, stuff is getting axed and not coming back. But there for the most part they're coming back in some fashion.
Yeah.
So all the major titles that are ending will all be back.
Yeah, I got to sell that new #1.
Yep. MODOK Assassin by Chris Yost and Emilcar Pina.
MODOK Assassin?
Yep, it's MODOK.
He's an assassin?
It's got the Elektra Assassin logo though. So
Fall of the Hulks ruined that crap for me. That was so bad.
yeah, I mean, it's MODOK. Again, if you like MODOK, you like MODOK. It's like Deadpool is a joke.
But
So
they have had a lot of fun with him in the
Secret Avengers. Yeah.
His stuff
Tied
in there's
for our
been
another book tied for our second lowest selling book.
Bryce can actually enjoy reading that book while he's drinking out of his MODOK
Yes.
coffee mug.
Nice.
Another
Very
one
nice.
Bryce will enjoy, Inferno by Dennis Hopeless and Javier Garon. That's based around the X-Men Inferno crossover. A whole world.
Oh, Goblin Queen is back. Yes!
Yeah. And Ileandra. Isn't she?
Any version of
like
Jean
the-
Grey I can
it's like-
get,
it's
even
like
if it is
taking-
Madeline Pryor.
It's like taking what like the Storm and Ileana Magic and then the X
Yeah.
Inferno.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
It's basically X Magic.
Magic would be fantastic if they brought that. If that's part of Secret War.
It feels like this just ended, but Spider-Verse is getting its own book. Mike Costa and Andre Araujo. So that's another
I don't know
continuation
about
of
any,
Spider.
but this list is almost giving me a headache.
Well, it's a lot of books.
A
It's a lot of
But
books.
this is going to be your Marvel Universe for most of this year. Planet Hulk by Sam Humphries and Mark Lamming. It's a whole world about Planet Hulk. If you remember that. He had his own world for a while.
He never made it off the planet.
Yep. I think that was
And it
going to be a
didn't
big
blow.
one,
And
too.
it didn't blow. And he has 2 kids.
Yeah,
I mean, the planet didn't blow. I mean,
Yes,
sorry.
yes. I think Planet
How
Hulk's
did you
actually...
know the Hulk doesn't blow?
I think Planet Hulk's going to be a pretty big one, too.
I really enjoyed Planet Hulk. I thought it was really good.
I thought they, I really thought they could have kept it going very easily. You know, why they had to nuke it and, lose the kid and lose the wife and everything.
Yeah. So that's all the ones I have listed here. I think there's more coming. I know there's talk of a new Ghost Rider series and a few other things, but
Oh, he gets the motorcycle back.
that is the
Like
large...
Daryl Dixon.
That is the large majority. I know. See, something is going on here. Like, these pages aren't learning because there's Future Imperfect, there's 1872, there's Weird World, there's Extinction Agenda, there's Korvac Saga, Runaways,
there's
Marvel Zombies,
all new.
Ooh, there you go. There's a
Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. I'm trying to see. I have a list here that's some more.
I'm just having fun going, this seems like an awful lot of X titles for all the rumors that was going around the end of the X-Men and Mutants.
Hey, kids, can you count how many Wolverines are going to be in this new Secret War?
All new Avengers now.
No, we'll get to that in a second.
He's going to show him, go, I died? What do you mean I died? I can't die.
So that is the large majority of the Secret Wars. I'm sorry that my list here is not IGN, fix your fucking website. But it was working earlier, and now it's randomly not loading.
Know anyone that works there?
There's a page that's not loading. No one that works on the tech end of it. So, but that's most of the series. It's going to be fucking crazy. I don't know what's going on.
There's no way I'm signing up for all those books. There's absolutely no way.
Got a whole bunch of people that already have.
There's no
you're already
way.
having a
I'm gonna cover pick. I'm going to cover pick. I'm
Sure.
a variant pick.
Well,
and
most
that's
people
it.
will.
You've had a difficult time with the ordering of it a little bit.
Well, we put in our initial orders for the first month, and I'll give first month number ones. I'll give a pretty high order, any of that stuff, and then slash to the bone what doesn't sell, and then because we can adjust our orders on most of this stuff. If they're pulling the crap where issue number 2s, you have to place your final order before one ships. I cut to the bone and then reorder depending on how one sells because I refuse to order. With DC, with the new 52, they had some returnability, they had extra discounts and all that stuff. This has nothing reasonable with Marvel. It's all just order whatever. So, it's a lot of stuff. This is going to be a crazy, crazy year for Marvel. Also, what Brock was just talking about, no, it's not part of that, is seemingly a post Secret Wars Avengers launch. This is their free comic day book. It's the all new, all different Avengers with a blacked out cover, only revealing a few of the characters, although you can guess who a few of them are.
I saw that picture like 2 or 3 times today. One of them's absolutely Miss Marvel. One of them's absolutely Doctor Strange. One of them's Falcon. And Iron Man was on the cover, I think, of the one I saw. So
well, there's Miss Marvel. The new Miss Marvel.
Right.
She's on it. And the two that shown, Miss Marvel and Thor, the female Thor.
Yeah.
One of them is absolutely Kid Nova, the Nova Kid.
Okay.
Totally. It looks like Falcon in the middle, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got like a little mohawky thing going on, maybe. I don't know. There's an iron someone in the top left corner. Dead center, maybe Miles Morales Spider-Man. And top right, can't tell. So that's...
You never mentioned any Ultimates, any Ultimate books in the Secret
Ultimate
Wars.
End. It's the one book.
That's the one book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Marvel. And then we have all the DC's new stuff. Conversion starts next week.
Yep.
We have all the new DC books, which we went through that a few weeks ago when they were all
Valiant's
announced.
coming out also pretty soon. Valiant, I mean, they're relaunching or something like that.
Valiant?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing like movies and crap coming up. Their comics are just doing what they're doing now. Yeah.
Yep.
So we just spent most of the episode talking about
be
that.
A broke summer.
Yeah, it's crazy. But man, we got some other stuff to talk about this week. Like
Thinking Patreon people?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that too. Charlie.
Shit.
Why don't you tell me about Powers? Because I think you're the only one to watch the pilot.
I thought
We
I
did that
talked
last
about it
week.
last week.
You talk about Powers last week? That's how little I care about this. Is that I completely forgot that you talked about it last week. Did you watch anything else? Is it
Yeah,
better?
he went to see the live freaking thing of Marvel superheroes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Marvel Universe.
That's what I wanted you to talk
my
about.
God.
No, I knew there was something, and I thought I had Powers stuck in my head. See, that's how little I
Slightly
care about
different
that.
on that
How
one.
little I care about that series. Well, how was the Marvel Live? I heard it was for babies.
Yeah,
bad.
It was not as like I really liked the Batman one when
Yeah.
I went to see that.
Yeah, I went to see that one too.
This one,
DC bias. That's my Bryce impression.
no, a large part of the reason why I think I liked the Batman one more is they did a very, very good job of sort of with the transitions and keeping you sort of centered within Gotham and kind of feeling like it. The transitions in the Marvel one were all kind of like weird. we're just going to fly around New York and show you the Avengers Tower when it really doesn't have anything to do with the transition between the scenes. And
But what was it?
like
Just
that.
just a bunch of stunt people?
there was a lot of motorcycle stunts, a lot of really bad
Dialogue?
fighting choreography. A lot of hokey dialogue.
Yeah.
The Hulk, out of like everything, just it looked like whoever was in there could barely move. So like people had to come up to the Hulk so he could go to the ground.
That's funny.
Did your kids like it?
Yeah, my kids liked it.
Okay, all right.
Didn't they have a thing
It's
that...
for the kids,
Right.
okay?
Didn't
Come
they
on.
have to think where the kids like interact with the ending? I watched a special on TV, and they're saying they have this thing where they can have this light up thingy, and they're holding up, and they're helping the superheroes beat the bad guy. At the
They
end.
didn't. I understand where they were going with that. They kind of did this whole idea of Iron Man being able to sync with other electronic devices to pull more power or whatnot. But it never really played as the audience is helping Iron Man. It just played more
Oh
as like,
man,
I'm
they
pulling
made that
in
way
more
cooler than
power.
I thought. Yeah,
And
Get your Extremis app and log in.
yeah.
Got my Jarvis app. That'll work.
no, but I don't know. It was one of those things where, and this is one. Okay, going back to the DC bias for a moment. I remember looking at a lot of the merchandise that was there and kind of going,
I got that Joker T-shirt. That's one of my favorite T-shirts.
they had a lot of cool DC centric merchandise, that all
Exclusive
kind of,
as well.
which all very very much felt like it belonged. While they still had a lot of Marvel merchandise, like a lot of Marvel T-shirts and like Marvel comic book this and that kind of stuff, they also had weird light up swords that didn't belong to any Marvel character. They had a bunch of like.
Do you think that maybe when the Marvel bosses weren't watching, we're like, quick, sneak all these swords in so we can make some money on the side?
No, I'm pretty sure it was we're going to order these weird frisbees and just slap Marvel stickers on them.
no.
We're going to order these swords, just slap Marvel stickers on them. We're going to order
Oh, that's
it's
lazy.
all
like,
the typical crappy stuff they
Yeah, yeah.
sell at.
so it's like at least one or two of those stands at Disneyland that sell just random shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it did kind of feel like it wasn't. It was more about selling stuff and less about putting you within the mindset of this is Batman and this.
Well,
is like,
it wasn't produced by Joss Whedon, right?
no.
Yeah, see, that's where they messed up.
So I know where I got confused. You also watched iZombie.
Yes, I did.
I watched iZombie. Toby watched iZombie. Jim?
Nope.
Brock?
Have not been able to.
Okay.
Been busy.
That's what I was
It's on
I
my
barely
list.
got to it.
Yes.
I did it today.
You lucky bastard.
So, Toby, I loved iZombie. You're mad at me for liking this, though.
Yes,
Because I don't care about Veronica Mars. She's not a zombie. She's not a zombie.
you should.
Is she a zombie?
No,
Then I don't care.
that's why I'm mad at you. You should care.
Is this literally just Veronica Mars?
Yes. The only difference is she's dead. She eats fucking brains, and she has dark eyes and is pale like a motherfucker.
Well, that's all I need. That's the part I care about. I don't care about the rest
Then
of
you
it.
obviously don't care about the show. It could be like written like.
It sounds
By
more
some
like
phony.
like Chew than it does
Wow.
iZombie.
While I agree with you, a lot of the tone and stuff feels like Veronica Mars, and therefore like some of the dialogue and stuff. Just like any Joss Whedon show, you can kind of go, this feels like a Joss Whedon show. It does not necessarily mean every Joss Whedon show is the same show.
Wait, iZombie is a Joss Whedon show?
No.
No.
But I'm just saying
Okay, all right.
it's by
I know
the
what you're
same-
saying now. I got you.
It's by the same creator of Veronica Mars, so it feels very much like Veronica Mars, but it does not mean it's the same show as Veronica
'Cause it's
Mars.
Does she eat
The
Veronica
pilot sure
Mars?
feels
That's what
like
I'm
it.
curious
She
about.
should.
She should eat Veronica Mars. That's what should
I will
happen.
kill you all in your sleep.
Well, be happy that I
I
am
will
watching.
feed you to yourself.
Be happy that
would
I'm-
be great in line with what CW is doing, especially in Flash, bringing the characters from an old show
Yeah, from
into
old
the new one.
shows.
So
Right.
if she's eating a character that could be
Nom.
Veronica
Guys,
Mars' brain,
There's, I have an announcement to make. There's going to be a new podcast starting as of next week. None of these people are going to be live anymore. I will replace all of them.
Are we all going to be zombies?
Soon to come, Veronica Mars.
No, okay. I really liked iZombie. I thought it was funny. It was it's a very fine balance with me with witty kind of dialogue. Like Joss Whedon's dialogue, a lot of times actually gets on my nerves. Like Buffy, I kind of dropped off after a while, and I whenever I try to go back, I'm like, I'm just not into this.
So the stuff you like is actually Veronica Mars.
Okay. I don't know. It takes there's a very weird balance for me with that type of humor. And like we were talking about Runaways before the podcast.
Yes, you're an asshole for not liking it.
I don't like because the dialogue drives me crazy. But I would say the dialogue of something like iZombie is not so dissimilar. I don't know what that line is, but something like Runaways, the comic, the dialogue just pop culture references and just annoying kid adults trying to talk like they're kids. Like iZombie didn't really do that for me. iZombie worked, and I don't know why. I'm just saying, like, there's that line, that invisible line that works for me one way and doesn't work for me the other way. And this is on that line, but it works.
Well, like, I never read the comic. One of our customers
I still
here,
haven't either.
One of our customers tried to get me to read like the first issue, so I tried the first issue, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't really. For me.
I never bothered with the
but
comic.
it's like, from what I've heard from people, it's different than the comic, and that's fine. But it seems like this is is a little more fun.
I don't. I mean, again, I've not read the comic. From what I understand, it has almost nothing to do with the comic.
I was gonna say. So, what's the comic doing right now?
The comic was canceled years ago. So,
wow.
yeah. I mean, it was never a big success. But Mike Allred, and he does all the art for like the interstitials from the opening scene and everything. So,
I really like.
Yeah, I like that they used his dialogue or his art and everything. So,
yeah, I liked all the art and like the way they used it for transitions and that kind of stuff.
If Toby, I like this guy. I'm going to continue watching this. And
no, you should stop watching and watch Veronica Mars.
Well, this is the guy that does Veronica Mars. So he is making money on something very similar to Veronica Mars.
Is the guy a zombie? Is I haven't even seen it. I mean, is the character a zombie or what?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it's a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a zombie. Okay. She gets scratched.
Sounds, if you close your close your eyes, she even sounds similar.
Really?
Yeah.
So the plot of the show for people that haven't seen it is a girl who normally doesn't, she's pre-med and she's
a forensic scientist, right?
No. She's pre-med and she is in her
she's an up-and-comer.
No, she's what's in that? When you go to med school, you have to do a
residency.
Yeah. She's doing a residency at a really big hospital.
Yeah, and she never goes out. She never parties. She never does anything. And she finally decides one day to go out and party. And when she does, she's attacked by a zombie apocalypse on this boat out in the middle of. There's a zombie outbreak because of this like drug.
Yeah,
I just want you to watch Veronica Mars pilot.
See, that's for me where it's like there's a zombie outbreak. Not an apocalypse.
Right, the zombie outbreak. Right, but the episode that people are watching right now because we're recording on Tuesday night, there's like another zombie, right?
But he was on the boat.
Sure, yeah. Right, yeah, right. So there's obviously some survivors from this.
Everything is better on a boat.
But she is, she's functioning in society even though she's a zombie, she's not like raw brains, But she
they did kind of explain that though. They kind of said if she doesn't eat brains, she might
then she turns into
so
that. Right.
So you remember
all
those?
She vamps out, right? Yeah.
You remember all that stuff in the Marvel Zombies comic book? After they fed, they could sit around.
Yeah.
So it's very much taking that premise, but she doesn't have to eat living brains. Okay. Which is why she works in a morgue.
Yeah, so she quits, obviously, and starts working in a morgue. And her partner, though, it's like 5 minutes in the episode. He's like, cool, you're a zombie. Let's try to let's try to fix your problems.
Well, he kind of suspected it. And
yeah.
He was trying to walk in red-handed.
So he obviously wants to have sex with her, right?
I don't think so. And then there's
Where's this coming from?
And then there's a new cop on the force who... They help solve a crime, and he's like, okay, she says, oh, I'm psychic, but it's actually when she eats people's brains, she sees their visions, kind of like Chew, Chew.
And takes on some of their
personalities
and habits.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't know where that was going.
Oh, her stealing?
She kept stealing red things. I'm like, is that a zombie thing? Do they like red things? So I was like,
it's blood, right?
Yeah, I kind of like where that was.
You didn't catch the fact that they spelled out early on that she was
a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
No, well, that's where I put it all together eventually, but not at first, though. Yeah.
So, good pilot. I mean, who knows where the show's going to go? I think ratings did decently. It did pretty well. Reviews were good, so I hope it continues. I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. So we'll see where it goes. And Toby, maybe I'll check out Veronica Mars one day because I like this show.
Not one day, like tonight. Just watch the pilot. Just compare the two.
He can't. He's going to have to watch.
Just watch the pilot.
Is it exactly the same?
Dude, I'll bring you the pilot. We'll watch it together. How
Are we
about
going to talk
that?
about the last Flash episode?
So can I apologize
We are
for the
getting there.
lateness of this episode being posted because apparently you're watching the Veronica Mars pilot.
I'm gonna go
and
home
not
and-
putting this up.
I'm going to go home and post this podcast.
Then we watch Veronica Mars. He'll come over with the discs.
Before we get to Flash, I want to talk about Arrow briefly. This last episode of Arrow. Again, we're going off last week's episode. I
failed this podcast, Ryan Higgins.
I wasn't sure where they're going with this Ra's al Ghul stuff, and I felt like they've kind of been stringing it along. And I'm like, where the hell are they going with this? Like, why would they have them go there, capture, leave? I'm like, where are they going with this? I finally think we got something last night, though, especially last week.
Yeah.
2 episodes ago, they said, "Oh, you're Batman. Basically, we want you to be."
Yeah.
It's Batman and Talia, except they're doing
Oliver
the same
and
plot.
Nyssa.
Yeah, with Arrow and Nyssa, very similar. Obviously, not
Ra's al
Nyssa.
Ghul wants Arrow
Well,
to fuck
but no.
Nyssa,
He wants him to take over.
He wants Arrow to
but
be
he
the
doesn't
heir.
want
But
him to bang Nyssa, though, does he?
Well,
No.
I'm sure he would love that, but she's not into him.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this.
It's like I didn't
the
see
way
it at
the
all.
Batman thing came about originally was very much like Talia chose you. I approve of you. You need to take over where I am at. Where this is more like I failed to kill you, therefore you must be worthy. So I want you.
Well,
to
this
take
is
over.
this is the prophecy thing, right?
well,
Yeah.
and
I'll make you take over.
and he does not approve of Nyssa. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but the very, very end of the episode with Roz in the hood. See, that's where I thought it actually flipped, and I was like, okay, that's cool. This is the whole icon of prophecy. He's going to destroy, he's going to ruin the city and everything.
I'm not saying that they aren't going that route, but
He's forcing Oliver to abandon the city.
I don't mind that he's forcing Oliver to abandon the city. I just find it kind of feels like almost retreading the same ground that they did with the Dark Archer in season 1. The idea of another Archer pops up, everybody thinks it's the Arrow, and
Well, I think this is going to be. He's like, well, I'm going to fuck with him because
You know what?
Yeah.
At this rate, they're going to have every color of the spectrum arrows, right? Because they already have black.
Yeah,
There's
have red.
only been a half a dozen. No, there's only been a half a dozen
Green.
arrows. So
well, I'm actually just having fun wondering about what do you call the Cupid arrows then.
Yeah.
I like this episode of Arrow. I mean, I feel like they're finally going somewhere with Roz where I didn't think they were before.
I do like that they introduced the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we get Suicide Squad this week. Is that this week?
Yeah.
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 this
think
is
The
so.
wedding and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
Lazarus Pit might also explain Katie Lotz possibly maybe returning.
Yeah. Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know. The Lazarus
original
Pit
Canary.
thing is always a weird area for me because even the comics, they don't necessarily keep it 100% consistent on when you're supposed to use it and when you're not.
Well, he just like dips his hand in it and like heals his hand up, and that's.
Well, I just remembered one of the main things about the Lazarus Pit when they first introduced it is you had to wait till you were like at the moment of death, and it had a short window of when it would work, and then all of a sudden you get to Tower of Babel where Raish is threatening to raise back the Waynes, and it's been very inconsistent even in the comics. And
Maybe it's because different Lazarus pits have different abilities.
how would they know?
they
this?
have played around with Raish messing around with Lazarus Pits for different uses and that kind of stuff, but
Do they also have to need a Ubu to carry the Roz out?
maybe.
They do.
well, there's so many iconic scenes that I can kind of think of where somebody goes into the Lazarus Pit and comes out crazy or sane in the Joker's case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really? That happened?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
I like that, and I like that.
Well, and
the Lazarus Piss.
Piss. Lazarus piss.
Whoa.
Which is the drink you have before getting in the Lazarus.
The Lazarus Pits kind of remind me of the sarcophagus, like in Stargate SG-1, where if you used it, fine, but if you used it too many times, it would start affecting your head. It started driving you.
Well, I
insane.
kind of remember that from when I was reading back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Black Canary thing, I mean, that's kind of how they brought her powers back in Birds of Prey.
All right.
Like number 30 something.
Plus, we didn't talk about my assumption is it's actually Shadow that all
Oh, at the very end. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
So, yeah. Everybody's coming back from the dead.
Yeah. They realize, oh crap, we killed everyone
Nobody
off.
dies.
Let's bring them back.
Nobody dies in the comic universe
Speaking of nobody dying,
except Uncle Ben.
Speaking of nobody dying, let's talk about the big one this week. Holy shit.
Spoilers,
Flash. Well, we
Yes.
spoiled for all of
Yes.
this.
Yeah. F you, Ryan.
What?
And F you, Charlie, for not picking up my phone call, and I couldn't let out my nerd rage that night. I was like, I have nobody to call. I can't nerd out with
That's what
anybody.
the internet's for.
No other friends will understand me. That's where it went eventually, you fuckers.
Holy crap.
Oh, Charlie's checking it. I think he had it blocked.
Oh,
If
great. Let's come to that, huh?
if Arrow is maybe letting you down a little bit this season, or it's not as good as maybe as the first two,
Go to Flash.
holy shit, Flash.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, it was good. This episode was amazing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even understand how the show is this good.
I had people call me going, who's Ethan Throm? Who's
well,
Ethan Frome?
well, but none of it counts.
That's the genius part of
They
it.
reveal all of it, but fuck you, we're gonna take it all away.
and-
But this is kind of Hitchcockian because he kind of reveal, you lay your cards out, but then you take it away, but you know both sides at this point, which is kind of cool.
So we get, through the course of this episode, we get Wells, H.G. Wells reveals himself as Eobard Thawne, the original Reverse Flash, Professor Zoom. He kills Vibe. All right, he kills.
Vibrating his heart.
By vibrating his hand.
Really cool.
Maybe
right
that's how he
into
gets
him.
his powers.
It very well could be.
Well, but then you have the time.
Flash reveals his identity
Iris.
to Iris. They fall and they're like, "Oh, I love you," and they have their big kiss. And
he says, like, I didn't want to show you like this. And he changed and boom, he was gone.
I thought
Yeah.
that was awesome. Yes,
But
they have a
they did the
kissy kiss
kiss
before.
before that.
Okay.
There was something else that what else was there? Was there
Well,
something
Caitlin
else?
figures it out.
Oh, she figures out it with. She's trying to keep Wells preoccupied while Cisco sets all this stuff up. He's trying to figure out how to Reverse Flash
And the
escape
stepdad is kidnapped.
the trip. Oh yeah, and he's kidnapped. And so he's almost
the real
killed.
Weather Wizard.
Right, the
I've been
real-
wanting to use that since the first week.
Yeah, the real weather is the brother comes in.
I like
who-
how they use the wand as sort of a nod to how the Weather Wizard's supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's a nod to the wand of Doctor Who too, I think.
So in the comics, there's the original Weather Wizard who
a
dies
trivia
in his
for you
first
later.
appearance, and his brother takes over and is the one that everyone knows. They do a very similar thing in this episode where they bring in the brother who actually survived the plane crash as well, and then they use the Weather Wizard wand as a thing against him instead of what he uses as his power.
Ah, cool.
But the end of the episode is just Flash runs so fast trying to stop this big typhoon from hitting Central
Tsunami.
City. Tsunami, sorry.
Tsunami.
Sorry. That he goes back in time to the very beginning of the episode, and now, or like 15 minutes into the episode or so.
the only thing that
Which they
throws
show
me-
at the beginning of the
Yeah,
episode.
I know, and that's
yeah.
part of what throws me is he sees himself.
Yeah, he
at the
merges
beginning,
into himself, I think.
but then the episode continues
Right.
until at the end when he actually arrives. And
So
then he's here.
he merges into him. So there's a part where Flash is running, and he sees like the shadow next to him, and then the shadow just disappears. And they're like trying to figure out what it is, and Wells is like, we'll figure it out later. And then at the end of the episode, he runs back in time. He is that shadow.
But the thing is Wells shows that when he's right before he kills Cisco, because he's going so fast that he's in two places at once.
But
No, that's different.
No, that's
No.
a different one.
That's
That's a
not
different
the
No, that's
the
an
after image.
That's an after image. No, what happens with Flash is he runs back in time, and he basically, I'm assuming they're doing it where there can't be two of him. He merges back in with himself.
I'm assuming that yes, he merges back into himself, and I'm assuming that they did it the way they did, where he saw himself, to avoid the whole paradox thing, where he still had to go forward to come back to
Right.
Yeah.
So he's there. So he knows everything that he knows. He knows Iris loves him. He knows he revealed his identity. He doesn't know about Wells yet.
and he doesn't know about Wells or Cisco yet.
Which
Right.
is why they were
Well,
very
like
careful.
Cisco-
Like, I have something really important to tell you. Well, let's deal with this first, and then you can tell me.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this episode that's on right now as we talk. So I'm sure if you're listening to this, you can already tell me I'm wrong. But I'm assuming he's just like, oh crap, I know exactly who the guy is, goes and stops him immediately. But then that causes, because the whole episode is this whole ripple effect.
Yep.
So
So Iris is going to be white now?
well, no, because your brothers are back this episode.
The general assumption I have is he's going to take all this knowledge and drastically alter the outcome from the... Like, yes, he's going to go capture the guy first thing. Completely sure of that, just based on the fact that they showed enough to know that the brothers are back and all that this episode. But I think it's going to go greater than that. I think he's going to make certain assumptions with Iris that's going to mess things up there. I think he's going to basically pull the Smallville that, like...
No, you know what?
Once he tries to act on any of that knowledge, it's all going to...
No, you know what it's going to...
Splinter and go wrong.
It's going to be Groundhog Day. Yes.
He
doesn't like Groundhog Day?
But some of
What's
it's...
wrong with you people?
But the whole thing is, that, they were showing the trailer that,
Yeah, it's because things are still going to happen. So that Captain Cole is going after Cisco now instead of E-Boy.
Right. And man, for all you people out there, they're like, well, he can't be Reverse Flash because he was over there and then he was in the thing. And it must be Eddie Thawne because his name is Eobard Thawne. So it must be... Noobs. I've called this from the very beginning. He's Eobard Thawne. He's descended. He's from the future. He's the Reverse Flash. Like, anyone that thought he was different.
Finally explained the one thing I didn't feel like I could necessarily fully explain.
Just the shadow.
Because, well, no, I figured there had to be two of him because I didn't see how he could be...
That's Flash 101.
Well, but here's the thing.
Image.
I didn't see how he could be in the thing and in the wheelchair the way they did that.
Yeah.
Well, they explained
once
that.
they grab him, but once they explained that when Cisco was recreating it and he appeared in there, it becomes clear that he was never in the field.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like
it all
after
makes
image,
sense.
right? Yeah.
It wasn't even after image.
No.
It was like a recording.
He hacked the thing.
Projection or something.
Yeah.
No.
Because that wasn't... He
It's a
wasn't
keynote
in the
slide.
field as it was replaying.
It was.
Right,
It's a
right.
keynote slot. He pressing button for him to say certain words. He has a script ready to interact with himself.
Yeah.
And once you kind of keep that in mind that he was never in there, then everything else makes sense.
Yeah.
That was a one hell of an episode, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flash, I'm scared because it's so good. I'm scared.
You're like waiting for the fall, aren't you?
I'm scared for season 2 where it's like, man,
It's
we're
gonna
out
be
of ideas.
Smallville.
And like we got nothing. Like we shot our wad season 1. We're out.
We
Like,
still have the Trickster this season.
Oh
well,
my
that's
God,
that's
yes,
the
we
thing.
do.
Like,
we do.
there's it's
And Mark Hamill
Yes,
is reprising.
it's too good.
He could go so fast that the one version could be where his dad is the Flash and the other show is all real.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
getting into the Flashpoint territory.
Yeah,
Secret Wars territory here.
Flash is just too good. I can't
Well, I
even.
hope if they do come down to that they just finish the show or take a breather from the show
And
and
I don't want to
instead of,
sound
like just doing Smallville crap.
And I don't want to sound like I'm saying anything bad about Arrow. I still have loved Arrow this season. But Flash, just Flash, like every other show on TV just looked bad. Like, it is so good. Game of Thrones comes back on soon, so I can't say that for too much longer. But for now, Flash. Oh, God, you're so good.
And next season, you got, what, Brave and the Bold?
Well, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
I know.
And I'm hoping they can pull that off. 'Cause that's incredible if they can.
Next week we
That's
have the
the
end
official
of
name, right?
Walking Dead.
That's the
Oh.
official
Yeah.
name until they come
And-
up with a different name.
Okay.
Next week, yeah, we've been kind of quiet on Walking Dead the last few weeks.
I
figured
actually really like this
it's
season.
been so good.
Yeah.
I really
It's
really
been good.
like this
I figured we wait till the finale and then we'll do a nice recap of the back half of the season.
Okay.
So, like, we haven't talked really Flash or Green Arrow too much recently. So, we'll hit the big ones. And maybe for the finale of Flash and Arrow, because I'm assuming they're both going to be on, like, maybe we'll do a late podcast or something. Or do, like, a special episode just on the finales.
Special Walking
That would
Dead
be awesome.
podcast.
Cool. Yeah, Walking Dead we'll do next week for sure.
Are we dwindling to the end here?
We are done.
I have
are-
a trivia for Charlie.
You're not
Okay.
going to do the Patreon things?
Oh, fuck you, Charlie.
Well,
Of course I'm going to do the Patreon.
Before we
things.
go
I'm just
there.
getting it ready.
Before you go there, Charlie, I have a quiz for you. Which Doctor Who actor or actress, besides David Tennant, who's going to be in the Marvel Netflix, besides Andrew Garfield, who is Spider-Man, and besides maybe some of the other ones I've forgotten, is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Jenna Coleman?
Damn, you knew! You knew! You knew! That's pretty good. I didn't know you knew.
Who is she in the Marvel movies?
She played a random chick in Captain America.
She
Oh,
goes
really?
on a date with Bucky and Steve Rogers before Steve is baked. Steve.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was semi rewatching the beginning of that. I'm like, I think that's Jenna Coleman, and I looked it up. Oh, like it is. So I had to quiz Charlie Man, but he obviously just defeated me.
Very
I have to
nice.
come up with something new then.
Nice.
1 you, 0 for me. This is going to be an ongoing battle.
I see.
Well, Bryce apparently is threatening us with this cable.
He's threatening us with a cable quiz.
The cable quiz.
trivia.
So when he makes it back on, we'll do that.
All right.
Before we
Brush
go,
up, Charlie.
let's thank Ryan Hess from the Region Free Gaming Podcast at rfgpodcast.wordpress.com. Don't forget to go
Thank you.
check those guys out. Albert Soy, Mike Campbell, and Julian Titus from the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com. Pixlbit. Go check them out. Keep it pantsless. Always keep it pantsless. All right. I think that's it. Those Secret Wars, if you want to order comicsconspiracy.biz, go on there and you can order. We're doing monthly sets. I think it's $84.99 is the first month. Second month we'll have up probably this weekend, or worst early next week.
Just want the Alex Ross Thor cover.
Thor's. There's another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
This list makes me so mad because I had it up
Hey,
and
you know
now
what?
it's gone.
You should take that list and copy it onto the forums.
Well, I'm going to make. I have my list. I mean, I have the list for month one.
The Thor's cover looks awesome.
Yeah, and I'll have month two's list up.
And I want to know who those other Thors are on there that I don't know who other.
So if you want comicsconspiracy.biz, go on there. It's the very first top sticky post. If you order Convergence, this is our last week for full sets of Convergence, $299.99, free shipping, 89 issues. It's a lot, but
Well, that's 2 months worth, right?
it's 2 months worth. Yeah, that's
Man, we didn't even
that's
talk about the
every
Russo
DC
brothers
book.
taking over the Infinity Wars.
I mean, that's 3 years from now.
Directors were announced for a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
We'll check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
like
about
the
that
fact
next
it's
week.
the Russo brothers.
Winter Soldier was amazing.
Winter Soldier was fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be James Gunn or the Russo brothers if anybody was going to take it away from Whedon.
Yeah.
So
At least from what I see and from what their choices of directors have been for the movies, it kind of makes the Infinity War a little bit more kind of, suspenseful in the sense that, like, it's not going to be... It'll be a good blend of things instead of just, like, because for Cap, they got somebody who was good at war movies. Winter Soldier was the Russo brothers who had done, spy kind of movies before. Gunn.
They'd done Community before.
I would love to see.
They hadn't directed a movie prior to that, right? Am I
Community, they
don't know.
did so much on Community.
I can see the Russo brothers directing and like James Gunn maybe producing something like that.
is Whedon going off? Is he done?
No, he's just producing stuff. I just don't think he's directing it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he wants to tie
He
up
has
another.
mentioned he wants to do his own stuff again.
Yeah, I mean, in all the interviews and stuff, he said, like, after Avengers 2, he has no interest in...
He made his
jumping to another
billion.
one right
He
now.
he spent 7 years
Yeah.
on this or whatever. So yeah, he's done. Yeah.
So whether or not they talk him
Time to
to
read.
still...
Damn, at least with Peter Jackson we get 3
Firefly 2?
Well, I'm
Yes,
actually just...
that's what I was just gonna say,
I'm
relaunch
really
Firefly.
wondering if they are going to keep him in, like, a production credit on S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Oh, of
such
course,
like
of
that.
course.
Yeah.
So...
Sorry, Mr. Ryan.
No,
I
that's fine.
messed up your end here.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Comicsconspiracy.biz. Go order those. The Convergence set. This is your last week to order it.
Picked up
so go
like
do
I
that.
didn't interrupted him. I like this.
You are going to do sets for the Joker variants?
We'll have sets for the Joker variants. Which
That will
is
include
June.
that sweet Batgirl cover.
It will not include the background cover. It's just canceled.
Make prints of that and then just give it to all the people.
Oh, let's not get started on this
Man.
one.
You can print out. I want that T-shirt. I'll wear it to Comic Con.
Remember me saying "fuck the bootleggers" last week? All right.
I can get you that T-shirt for this Comic Con.
I'm sure.
For Big Wow.
Oh, people already
I
have
can
it.
get one printed out for you.
Oh, I know. We will also have full sets for all the DC number ones, which is also June, separate from the Joker variants. So there'll be a lot of stuff to order. Comicsconspiracy.biz. Go check it out. We take PayPal, take cards over the phone as well if you want to call up and order. So do that.
If you're wearing that T-shirt, I'm wearing the Milo Manera Spider-Man.
Ah, jeez, yeah. We'll just go like just fuck the internet and just wear those two shirts.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
I'm actually just thinking you need the one image on the front.
One image.
on the
Yeah.
back.
yeah, exactly.
It's just like we'll just like walking memes. It's just like
Did you guys see the guy that did the Superman Doomsday version of that.
I've seen the
the
Superman.
stupidest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I've seen one with Batgirl painting a smile on the Joker or something like that. Also,
Doomsday doing it to Superman makes no sense because Doomsday wouldn't do that because it's Doomsday. Now the Joker doing that to Superman would be just as scary and terrifying as the Batgirl one. So
I actually,
whatever,
I actually
guys.
tweeted at the guy, said, you should do Red Hood. He's painting the smile on Red Hood.
Yeah,
have
it
a
works.
crowbar in
It
his
literally
hand
works
instead
for
of a gun.
anyone. It's the fucking Joker. He's terrifying. It's the Joker. I don't know what you want.
happened in 39? Batman 39?
Yeah. This episode and all our previous episodes, where we talk about all these other things, are available at geekbox.net and comicsconspiracy.biz.
he's so trying to close his episode.
Forums at geekbox.net and the Geekbox and Comic Conspiracy Facebook group.
Yeah,
That's right.
Much better. Come
Change
on.
that. That's awesome.
We
That's
did.
That's thanks to fans. They demanded it.
demanded
Yep. Fuck
Thank
the
you.
Geekbox.
Yeah.
It's the Comic Conspiracy group now.
Hey, my title got the most votes right now.
Yeah,
I beat Ryan Higgins. What's a Sunny Surprise Fun Box? Or no, hold
You had
on, I butchered it right now. I'm sorry.
Brian's Sexy Surprise
Oh yeah,
Party.
Sexy
or something.
Surprise. Yeah, I beat it by one like at this point. The Geekbox is better than the Comic Conspiracy.
That's a different.
Wait. I just reversed it.
That's a different group. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. Go there and buy all your comics from us. Don't forget to subscribe. Patreon.com/comicconspiracy. You can go sign up there, and when Charlie reminds me, I'll read your names on the podcast, apparently. I have it open. It is literally sitting here every single time, open, ready to go, updated every month, and Charlie's like, don't forget to record. I'm like, I'm going to.
Well, that's because
and then
you missed it 1 week.
And then you throw me off, and I forget, and... Yeah.
Do it just to rile you up a little bit.
Charlie does throw people
I
off.
actually do it to just try and get it a little bit earlier in the show.
I need to do it
than
more.
when
We try to do it
at the tail
halfway,
end.
and I keep pushing it to the tail end, so I'll
Yeah, I
fix
know.
that. Don't forget to go to those guys' sites and
And
listen
I'll
to the
keep
podcast.
reminding you until you actually put it
Thank you.
midway through the show.
So much in the tail end of these episodes. I hope people actually listen all the way
I
through.
hope so. ConspiratorBrock.com. That's a website you can see Brock in high def if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Comicsintokind.com.
Thank you, Trip, for that image from your TiVo.
Comics into Kind, that's frightening. Comicsintokind.com, Omar's blog, go read that. Infinite Long Box Podcast and the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension. And will there be a Emerald City Comic Con exclusive podcast, Charlie? No. Okay,
Well,
moving on.
everybody from the Infinite Long Box will actually be at Emerald City. So,
Right.
yes, we will have a...
Recording there?
I don't know
You have
for sure
to.
if we're doing a
Do it.
recording there or
Just
if
do
we're
it.
just going to do a massive recording when we all get back.
I am a
can.
fan, and I demand it. So you could tell your cohorts if fan demanded it.
I'm just
Two
thinking
fans.
I'd
Two
be
fans.
more likely to do it if I had that recording device you brought to Emerald
No.
City that one
You
year.
can. I'll go home and grab it. It's on the couch. I know exactly where it is.
I don't even want to know why it was on the couch, but okay.
I leave everything on the couch. The last 5
Including
weeks
his
of comic
pants.
books, the recording device, my GoPros, random ass cables, my clothes.
So if you want to steal from Toby, just find his couch.
just find my couch.
On Twitter.
Or if you want to shoot something with Toby, the couch is where it happens.
On Twitter,
Everything's there.
I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Omar is Comics into Kind. Bryce, congrats, buddy. Go tell Bryce that
Congratulations.
you're happy that he has a baby at Larson Bryce. Toby's Toby XI. Charlie's in Sydney and Chaos. Jim is what the hell are you?
LD Exterminator.
I thought you were going to say Jim is
Living
Elton
Dead
John.
Exterminator. LD Exterminator.
LD
Little Dick
Exterminator.
Jim is really Elton John. He's going to bust out singing as we do this outro.
No, he's the maestro, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to have to try and change my Twitter handle.
The Maestro.
Yeah.
Don't forget to
Future
listen.
Imperfect?
Don't forget to listen to the Geekbox, Comedy Button, Good Job Brain, and the All Talk Podcast. Those are all the podcasts on our little network. It's fun times, so go listen to that. And before anyone could say anything, we're out.